and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then don't forget to subscribe down below, and without much further ado, let's get on with the video. I wanted to touch upon something really quickly before we actually got into all of the Disney, and that is that I was gifted by the lovely people at Happiness Boutique a couple of pieces of jewellery to share with you guys and explain their business and explain their brand. And I jumped at the chance of it because their jewellery reminded me of Disney and like space and stars and galaxies and stuff, so I was like, yeah, I'm there. They also had a couple of like tree necklaces which were really pretty, but I went for what I'm wearing right now. It is a little North Star necklace, which actually reminded me of the star that Tiana wishes upon in Princess and the Frog. They also had this pack, which was moons and stars. Oh my god, I just remembered the Moons and Stars cereal. I have a lot of really weird earrings, including balloons that I need to wear when I go and see It. That needs to happen. I really like them. It's really delicate, but really like subtle and sweet. I think that's how some of their jewellery comes across. The ones that I like love the most was because they're very subtle, and to me this means Disney, but to anyone else it just means a star. So I really like this. And also one thing that Happiness Boutique do is for every product sold they plant a tree. We need to help the environment, we need to do our bit, and Happiness Boutique are doing that by planting a tree for everything sold, which I think is a great little thing. I'm very thankful to the people at Happiness Boutique. Thank you so much for sending me this and allowing me to share it with you guys. I will of course put all the details for all of this in the description, and all of the details for the company in general will be down there, so if anyone is interested, go check that out. I'm gonna stop talking here and I'm going to take you over to voiceover Amelia. She's going to explain all of D23's news because there's a lot, and I tried to keep this video as short as I could, but there's a lot, okay? So we're gonna send you over now to voiceover Amelia.
Thanks, Amelia. Now, first of all, we're going to go through everything that I could find that was announced for the upcoming streaming platform Disney+. Now, this service is set to be available on November 12th for those in the US, Canada and Netherlands. Then on November 19th, Australia and New Zealand will be able to sign up to the platform. While us here in Europe still have no set release date, the prices currently stand at approximately $7 a month or $70 for the year. Now, it's not new information that Disney+ will be home to every Star Wars film, but they are also giving us new, never-before-seen content. We finally got our first proper look at The Mandalorian with a newly released trailer and poster. For fans of the animated series Star Wars The Clone Wars, it was announced that the next season will be available on Disney+. It was announced that not only would Diego Luna and Alan Tudyk be reprising their roles from Rogue One in a new original series, but also Ewan McGregor would be returning as Obi-Wan Kenobi in his own series.
Ewan?
Yes?
Are you going to play Obi-Wan Kenobi again?
Yes.
On to Marvel news now, because this is where my jaw hit the floor. Of course, we have known that Falcon and the Winter Soldier will be gracing our eyes in the second half of 2020 and be the beginning of many Marvel series, but we got confirmation that Emily Van Camp and Wyatt Russell would be joining the cast as Sharon Carter and John Walker. Loki, WandaVision and Hawkeye are all set to be released in 2021, with WandaVision bringing a familiar face back to our screens with Kat Dennings returning as Darcy Lewis from the first two Thor films. Also announced was She-Hulk, Ms. Marvel, Moon Knight, and we finally got more information on What If, a series comprising of 23 episodes, one for each of the films in the Infinity Saga. And if that wasn't enough, we also got our first look at Agent Carter as Captain Britain in the story of What If She Was Given the Super Soldier Serum. Other content that we'll be seeing on the platform includes Lady and the Tramp, a live-action retelling of the Disney classic; Noelle, a festive film starring Anna Kendrick and Bill Hader; One Day, a show featuring the thousands of cast members who help make magic; High School Musical, the series; Encore, Life According to Jeff Goldblum; Timmy Failure, Mistakes Were Made; Togo, however you pronounce that; Diary of a Female President; Forky Asks Questions, Stargirl, Monsters at Work, Secret Society of Second-Born Royals, Phineas and Ferb, Candace Against the Universe, a new unscripted Muppet show, and finally, Lizzie McGuire will be coming back to our screens with Hilary Duff once again in the title role, but now a 30-year-old living her dream life. It's safe to say Disney Plus really didn't hold back at their panel, and if I missed anything, please comment it down below. Now on to Walt Disney Studios, as they gave more information on films that we knew were coming and also blessed us with what else they've been working on. D23 guests were shown snippets and sneak peeks from the Black Widow movie coming to theatres next year, including a first look at the exclusive convention poster. It was revealed that Black Panther 2 is coming to our screens in 2022. We got our first look at the cast of Eternals in their costumes, and Kit Harington, aka Jon Snow, was announced to be joining the cast as the Black Knight. Star Wars Episode 9 revealed not only a beautiful poster, but also new, never-before-seen footage for their film being released on the 19th of December this year. We got more information on Frozen 2, with Evan Rachel Wood joining the cast as Elsa and Anna's mother. Also, I believe guests got to hear one of the new songs, and a fancy new poster surfaced. A new animated feature entitled Raya and the Last Dragon was announced, with Cassie Steele voicing the main character. We got our first look at Emma Stone as Cruella, which will be an origin story set in the 70s. Apparently, a few clips and images were shown of Mulan, which comes out next year. Additional details were given about Maleficent, including that the story will take place a few years after the first film. Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt took to the stage on a literal boat to share, I believe it was a trailer for the Jungle Cruise, but that hasn't surfaced anywhere online yet that I know of. And finally, Pixar shared a few new pictures and a poster for Onward, and gave more information on their 2020 production entitled Soul, which follows the idea of how our souls are shaped and how we become the people we are today. Whew! Breathe. Wow, that's a lot of information. Now, if you're where I am right now, your brain is also having a hard time processing all this new information. But the excitement doesn't stop there, as on Sunday the 25th of August, there was a 2-hour parks panel. And yes, I cried throughout the whole thing. First off, we're going to take a trip over to Disneyland, California, where Bob Chapek announced a new parade will be rolling down Main Street next year, with never-before-seen floats including Moana, Sleeping Beauty, and Coco. In addition, a new song created by Todrick Hall entitled Magic Happens will be accompanying the parade. If you were lucky enough to be at the convention, you would have been able to see a model of what the ride vehicles in Mickey and the Runaway Railway will look like, but it was also announced that Anaheim's park will also be getting their own version of the ride in Toontown and based in the appropriately named El Capitan Theatre. Coming to both California and Paris is the Avengers Campus. Now, there is already one of these in Hong Kong. You can already go on the rides. They look really cool. However, the California and Paris campuses seem to hold a lot more similarities, with them both receiving a Spider-Man attraction going by the name Worldwide Engineering Brigade, or WEB for short. This ride will see you become part of the action as you train to be the next Avengers. They are both said to have PIM Test Kitchen, which is described as a restaurant that will use PIM tech to shrink or enlarge your food, and characters will be roaming the parks. And I'm talking people like Black Widow, Thor, Loki, Ant-Man and the Wasp for the first time, the Guardians, Black Panther, the Dora Milaje, and for the first time ever, you'll be able to meet Iron Man himself. Doctor Strange will also be around for meets, with I believe it just being California getting a Doctor Strange Sanctum walkthrough experience. That's a mouthful. Please correct me on this if I'm wrong though, because it's just implied that it's just California getting it. Now, while all of that is phase 1, phase 2 will see California's campus also receive a new e-ticket attraction, which allows guests to board a Quinjet and fly to locations like Wakanda to fight alongside Earth's mightiest heroes. This will put you in the center of the action using a new ride technology never seen before. In Paris, Hotel New York is currently undergoing its lengthy remodeling to become Hotel New York, the Art of Marvel. This renovation will transform the hotel into a Marvel fan's paradise, with themed rooms and over 300 pieces of art created by both Marvel Comics and Marvel Studios. Another thing to mention is Paris will be getting its own thrill ride, with Rock and Roller Coaster closing its doors on September the 1st to be transformed into a new Iron Man themed coaster. While we don't have much details on this project, it is suspected to keep the same base track as the current ride we know and love. Moving over to Hong Kong, the Disneyland Resort will soon be welcoming its own Frozen Land, which will include 2 rides. One will be a copy of Epcot's Frozen Ever After, while the other will be an original attraction named Wandering Oaken's Sliding Sleighs. Hong Kong will also see a renovation to its castle. Imagineers are working to make it one of the most unique castles in all of the Disney parks, with each spire resembling a different princess, and the structure will be home to a new Bibbidi Bobbidi boutique. This castle has been officially entitled Castle of Magical Dreams. Shanghai Disney will also be seeing some changes, with the first ever Zootopia-themed area being opened in the near future. This land will immerse guests in one of my favourite Disney films via restaurants, dining, merchandise, and of course a yet-to-be-revealed attraction. I'm going to take a little break from Disney parks for a second, as Target also took to the stage to reveal they have teamed up with Disney to bring official Disney products to 25 stores by October 25th and then another 40 locations by the end of 2020. These products will be available via a shop-in-shop concept. Also announced was the 5th ship to be joining the Disney Cruise Line fleet. Named the Disney Wish, this boat will feature Rapunzel on it and take guests on a cruise to Lighthouse Point in the Bahamas. Here, Disney are working with the local community to create a beautiful vacation destination that draws from the surrounding culture, which will be ready to set sail to by January 2020. We've now reached the biggest chunk of information, and that is in relation to Walt Disney World Resort, which will be celebrating its 50th anniversary in 2021. If any of you use My Disney Experience, in late 2020, Disney Genie will be working either alongside it or replacing it. This new app will be the place to plan, from what restaurant you want to dine in to which attractions you want to experience. Currently showing Lanuba in Disney Springs, the Cirque du Soleil company are working on a new show to begin previews March 20th, 2020, before its first official show on April 17th. This new show brings together the minds of Walt Disney Imagineering and animation, and of course Cirque du Soleil, to offer a show like no other, combining both live performers and classic Disney animation. It's been known for a while that Disney are building yet another hotel, but we finally found out that it's going to be called Reflections, a Disney Lakeside Lodge. This Disney Vacation Club resort is also going to be home to a Princess and the Frog themed restaurant, and my only hope is that Tiana will be there to meet and greet with guests while trying her famous dishes. Back to Star Wars now, as we received more information on the upcoming Star Wars hotel. Guests will be able to step aboard a galactic star cruiser named the Halcyon and spend a couple of days fully immersed in the world that George Lucas created. There'll be restaurants, character encounters, and for the first time, both adults and children will be able to wield a lightsaber and practice with a training remote. We also got our first proper look at Star Wars Rise of the Resistance opening in Galaxy's Edge next year. Finally, Epcot. A lot of new projects were announced at D23, and while I'm extremely excited to see this new vision, I'm not going to lie, I do prefer the futuristic concept Epcot started with over this new storytelling path that Disney have decided to go down. Having said that, we got a name for the new Guardians coaster: Cosmic Rewind. This coaster will be a first of its kind, with cars that rotate towards the action and will also have a backwards launch. Space 220 was revealed to be the name of the new space-themed restaurant moving in adjacent to Mission Space. The number in the title referring to the idea that guests will be transported 220 miles up and feel like they are really dining in space, with windows showing both day and nighttime visuals. The old Wonders of Life Pavilion is also seeing a complete overhaul with the new Play Pavilion. Here, guests will be able to interact with their favourite Pixar characters, join Edna Mode and Huey, Louie and Dewey for new games and activities, and it is also said that there will be an arcade. Think the Oh My Disney scene in Ralph Breaks the Internet, because that's what it's implied to be like. Harmonious is set to replace the beloved Illuminations next year, with it being the biggest fireworks spectacular Disney has ever created. This new nighttime show will follow the music of Disney and how it inspires the world. World Showcase saw a few major announcements, the first being new updated films coming to Living with the Land, Oh Canada and Wondrous China will be greeting guests in January 2020, and also the France Pavilion will not only be showing reflections of France, but will also introduce a new Beauty and the Beast sing-along. The France Pavilion was also confirmed to be opening Remy's Ratatouille Adventure in the summer of 2020. I've been on the one in Paris and it truly is an amazing ride, and I can't wait for our American friends to get their own version. Of course, the biggest news, in my eyes, to come out of D23 is an extension to the UK Pavilion, which will see Cherry Tree Lane join the UK neighbourhood. Guests will be able to walk in the shoes of chimney sweeps and lamplighters alike as they enter the Banks' home, where a new attraction will be situated. There isn't any information on what kind of attraction this will be. I just hope it's more than just a meet and greet like Enchanted Tales with Belle over at the Magic Kingdom, even though I do love that experience. And now we come on to the completely mind-breaking news. Epcot's future world will technically no longer exist. Instead, this area will be split into 3 new sections: World Discovery, World Nature, and World Celebration. Discovery will be home to the space and tech rides. Nature will include the seas, the land, and also a new walkthrough attraction based off of Moana. Journey of Water will allow you to interact with water displays as you move along the lush green path. It should be noted that as the 3 sections stand, Journey into Imagination with Figment is in both Nature and Celebration, so what this means for one of my favourite rides, who knows? But I can only hope Disney will still return the ride to its original glory and bring back Dreamfinder. Please. World Celebration is the 3rd and final new section, and this will be replacing what is currently Innoventions. Bye bye, Club Cool. You will be missed. Celebration will see a structure erected which will be the new festival centre with more shade and a top floor that acts as a perfect viewing point for the upcoming Harmonious. This area will also welcome a new statue of Walt Disney and a new fountain. This inner section of Celebration will be known as Dreamer's Point, as Walt will be looking over the park he once dreamed up. Finally, we end this roundup with further news on Spaceship Earth's lengthy renovations. Moving away from technology, this new update will have you follow the story light through the ages as it focuses more on storytelling and how that has shaped us into the society we are today. While it was made clear that beloved scenes will be staying, there really is no indication as to how much of this ride will be kept, and I'm just hoping they don't ruin a truly iconic ride. And there you go! That's every bit of news that I have heard from D23 2019. If there was anything I missed, please share it in the comments so everyone can get up to date. But now it is time to send you back to Amelia.
And I'm back. Hello everyone. It is back to visual Amelia, not just voiceover Amelia. I hope you enjoyed hearing everything at D23. I know that I am so excited. I literally cried for when I said I cried for 2 hours, I mean I cried for 2 hours at the parks panel because it just meant so much. Okay, I've spoken for too long now and I'm probably boring you, so I'm going to end today's video here. If you enjoyed it and you want to carry on watching this face, then please do not forget to subscribe just here, then click on my previous video just here, and here will be a link to a recommended video. But until next time, bye! What's an outro?